Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Clint Soker. Welcome back to another My Thoughts On. Today, as promised, I will talk about Christopher Robin, the latest Disney live-action film. And it's centered around the books of Winnie the Pooh and the many stories of Winnie the Pooh. Before I go into Christopher Robin, I should probably talk about Winnie the Pooh. I've never read the books. I used to love watching the TV show, the popular Winnie the Pooh by Disney. I don't remember much of it, but I do remember seeing it. I do remember a couple of the films, like there was the Tigger movie, the Piglet movie, the Heffalump movie. I don't think I saw the 2011 film. But I really like Winnie the Pooh. I think Winnie the Pooh is wonderful. I think he's charming. I think the stories are nicely told, and it's always interesting to watch, let's say. So you've got this film, which is basically Christopher Robin grows up, he's got a job, and he's forgetting about his childhood. Then Winnie the Pooh comes up back to say that he has to reconnect with his childhood and actually get more time with his family, and that. It doesn't sound like much, but it sounds interesting. When I saw the trailer, I thought, wow, that looks... I thought it looked pretty good. And then the other trailers come, and I thought, charming, that looked really damn charming. So I went to go and see it yesterday. It came out on the 17th, and you, Americans, got it on the 3rd. I don't know why, but there you go. Yep. Anyway, so that's pretty much the plot of it. So how does it all go? Pretty good. Okay, it's not perfect, but it does go by nicely. Its execution-wise is good. It cuts back to Christopher Robin, Winnie the Pooh, his wife. I think it's Evelyn. I don't know. I don't remember. And then the daughter Madeline. And it is all all three of them have something in common. They all have something that's all connected to each other. But the one that's actually the most interesting and the one that has the most screen time is actually Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. And I'm sorry to say, but as well developed and the chemistry between the two is good, there's not much you can get with them two here. I know there's the whole nothing leads you to something extraordinary or something, but that's the thing. This film doesn't do much. It actually takes very little risks. I mean, despite being a PG, this is probably one of the most harmless Disney films I've ever seen. And I've seen Pete's Dragon. It plays it safe. It does have a couple of touching moments that involve Pooh and Christopher Robin. I didn't cry. I mean, I almost did at one point, but that's about it. The comedy is actually okay, even though, well, at least the screening I went to had, because I went to go and see it with my friend, and I had an older lady on my right who seemed to love Winnie the Pooh. Then I had a little girl on my left, and she kept asking her mother what's going on, why is Christopher Robin leaving, what's going to happen to Winnie the Pooh, and I thought, I mean, I know she's just a kid, and it's good to ask questions, but it's called a film. It's not... if you're watching it at home, then that's fine, but you're watching it in the cinema, so shh. Heck, I even saw a couple of people take pictures of the film with their phone. Illegal much? So yeah, my experience in the cinema was weird, and everyone kept talking, well, not everyone, but the girl kept talking and I couldn't understand or hear what the characters were saying, so it does kind of dampen the experience for me. But, you know, I'm going to get on DVD, so it won't be a problem. So, I've got a couple of issues. One, Christopher Robin is a little unlikable, and I know it's the whole character who focuses more on work than have more time for family, but in a way, he acts like Thomas McGregor from Peter Rabbit. And I should know, because I've seen Peter Rabbit, and this movie is better than Peter Rabbit. But I'm just saying that Thomas and Christopher are a little similar, but I actually like Christopher more. I mean, yeah, he gets his heart softened, and he does actually change a little bit, thanks to Winnie the Pooh and his gang. But I just didn't... I don't know, I just didn't really found him all that endearing. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but... Also, the movie's pretty predictable and pretty straightforward. Like, there's nothing really complex about it or anything. It does its job fine, and I think this is the second Disney film that involves a real true story, and I think the first one was Saving Mr. Banks, if you know that one. Anyways, while the writing isn't anything great, it still does it how do I put this? It's not great, but at least it tried, and even if it didn't succeed, it did it in the best way it can. Visuals. Whew, and I thought Pete's Dragon looks beautiful. This just looks kind of washed out. And I don't mean that in a bad way necessarily. I mean, if you look at the 100 Acre Wood, when you look at it from the cartoon or the films, it looks quite colourful and well drawn. Here, it actually looks like it's from a horror film. Also, there's a bit of a Pennywise reference in here from It. And same with Pete's Dragon, actually. It's kind of fascinating. Anyways, visually, I think this movie looks good. It doesn't look beautiful, it looks good. It has a very fitting visual setting that's supposed to take place in the 1950s, where you see the 100 Acre Wood, you see London, you see the cottage. It all seems to fit in that time frame, and it looks good. At times it can look beautiful and nice to look at, but it mostly looks good. The designs of Winnie the Pooh and his friends look good. I think Pooh actually looks the most adorable, this one. Actually, no. Pooh, Eeyore, I think Kanga as well. I think they look pretty adorable. I like Tigger's, but Tigger's just looks a little too grey. I think Piglet's the only one that actually has more colour. Rabbit looks weird. He actually doesn't look like the rabbit. I know he's supposed to be a rabbit, but he just looks a little too normal to be the rabbit. Owl looks the same. Roo looks the same as well. So I like these updated designs, but there isn't much to them. What else? It's also a nicely well shot film. When it comes to the Christopher trying to hide Pooh and trying to get him back to the 100 Acre Wood, it does get a tiny bit engaging, but this is all in the first act, which I think is the strongest. The second act is okay, and then the third act is pretty much the one that I didn't think is quite as important or as good. With all that, with all the visuals, it feels a little rushed actually near the end, so meow. But with all that said, it's not one of the visually best Disney films, but it still looked good, and it still had actually good CGI and good puppetry, and it could still do well on its own. Characters and acting. Okay, my favourite characters are Pooh, Winnie, not Pooh, Winnie, Pooh, Eeyore, Christopher, the wife, Tigger, Madeline. About it really. Pooh is basically just being himself, which is good because he's still a likable and just very sweet bear. I always liked Winnie the Pooh. I've always thought he was very charming. Eeyore's freaking adorable. I've always liked Eeyore, and he's always a grump, but he's always, a happy grump. Christopher may be a little unlikable, but he does have a bit of charm, and he can be likable and slightly funny at times. Tigger's an absolute delight. Madeline does actually have a point to the film, and I think she does play it well. Evelyn is also pretty good as well. I found her quite good. Have I missed someone? Piglet didn't do a thing for me. As for the rest, like Rabbit, Kangaroo, Owl, they are in it, but maybe not as much as Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, and Piglet. I don't know why. I don't know if this was part of the original true story or if this is all kind of made up. I really don't know, but they weren't in it for that long. So, with all that said, the ones I've mentioned besides Rabbit, Kangaroo, and Owl, all of them have very unique personalities and good chemistry with one another, mostly anyways. Like Pooh and Christopher Robin is not only cute but somewhat believable. Same with Eeyore when he rescues him from the river, and when he tries to take down the Heffalump for the friends, it does actually feel like Christopher Robin's actually being Christopher Robin, and it's really cute. And the wife and the daughter of Christopher Robin, their chemistry with him is maybe a little too mean-spirited and a little too normal, but it does get better and it does get a little light-hearted. Another good thing about this is the performances. The acting is actually great. Ewan McGregor, I think, is probably the standout here. I think he can do a very good British accent. And I should know, because he was in Star Wars. Cue hello there memes at your own risks. Seriously, I still don't understand why that's become a thing. But anyways, the actress who played Evelyn, she's also Carter from Captain America. She's very good as well, and the daughter who plays the girl who plays Madeline is also really damn good as well. Jim Cummins playing once again Pooh and Tigger is always a damn delight. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's voicing these two. It's really good. It's really good. No one can be Pooh and Tigger than Jim Cummins. Brad Garrett as Eeyore, perfect. He's a very good choice. Peter Capitell, the Doctor who voices Rabbit, is good. Kangaroo, they sound just like that. Owl, I think Owl's Toby Jones, and he does sound pretty much like Owl. The only one I thought who didn't sound that much like Tigger, and not Tigger, Piglet, and I guess there's a good reason to it, but that's Piglet. His voice acting just sounds too normal, too Englandy. I think the original one was a bit American, a little squeaky, and that's how I like Piglet. This one just sounds normal. It doesn't sound like anything special. So, with good voice acting, good acting, and some good chemistry with characters that are not only funny but emotional and lovable, it's hard to hate them. Okay, maybe this isn't quite one of the best live-action Disney films, but it's certainly better than like Shaggy Dog, the two Alice in Wonderland films. It is slightly above the BFG, even though technically that is a Disney film. Not in the UK, surprisingly, but Christopher Robin is a charming, delightful, pretty entertaining, and I don't know if it's faithful to the actual true story, but I enjoy it. I think it's really damn good. It has a good plot that's executed nicely. It has visually good CGI, and the puppetry is actually pretty good. It looks nice. The characters have good chemistry, and they're lovable, and the acting and the voice acting is top notch. Although the film can be predictable and it can be a little too simple, the film can have a little dull look. Christopher can be a little unlikable at first, and Piglet doesn't sound like Piglet. If you like Christopher Robin's stories, if you like Winnie the Pooh, go check it out. I don't know if you'll like it or not. Most likely you will, because it is a really good adaptation. It's not great, but I still enjoyed it. I know though, if you want to see like a good Disney film, take your kids to see it, even though Incredibles 2 is the film of the summer, but do go and see it. It is very interesting, but don't go and see Equalizer 2, because I heard that wasn't that good, but I'll give this a 9.9 out of 10. Wait, 9. Damn it, I'm still thinking about Beauty and the Beast. Anyways, 7.9. I know that's a little low, but I think that's probably accurate, I guess. I might go and see it again because a friend wants to see it. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, because there are details in the film I've missed because a certain little girl was talking. Okay, so next I've got a film I want to talk about because of a very special day for me. That's next Friday, and I'll be talking about it on Friday. I won't say why that day is special, why the film is special. You'll have to see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye for now. Home buffer. I can't do Jim Cummins. I really want to be Pooh. I can't even do Tigger. That's the worst part. When will I learn?